Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how you can easily set up synthetic monitoring in TrueWatch. For this demo, I have an open source CRM app called Idura running on EKS. I've deliberately made the get payments endpoint very slow and it takes about 5 seconds to respond. So in a real life scenario, if the SLA for this endpoint is 500 ms, we'd want to set up a test that keeps pinging the endpoint to measure latency. The results would be displayed on a dashboard so managers can monitor the progress of a fix and keep an eye out for future regressions after new releases. And that's where synthetic testing comes in. So first, I'll show you how to set up the synthetic testing workflow, and then we'll look at how to display results on a dashboard. So first we have to create a synthetic test, and we are going to select a multi-step test. Because we are testing a backend endpoint, we'll first need to get a bearer token and then use that token to call the get payments endpoint. As for the test frequency, we can start with 1 minute, but this one you can adjust according to your needs. So for the first step, we are going to call the login endpoint. So to get the information to fill up here, we need to head over to our CRM and we will log out. And as we log in, we are going to use Chrome DevTools to capture the payload as well as the request body. Okay, so as you can see, to log in, the request URL is this, the method is post, and the expected successful status code is 200. The payload we submitted was this, and the response shape looks like this. The token field is nested under the result object. So we want to copy this path. The timestamp is optional, so we're just going to leave it out. Then to configure the body, we have to click on Advanced and go to Request Body and select Application JSON. Then we put it here. Okay, now let's try to test this request. Oh, and it's failing because we have not filled in the judgment conditions. So in our case, because we only want to extract the token value from the response, we will need to use a script mode which will enable us to extract a particular value and assign it to a local variable that is available for the lifetime of this test. So in our case, our code will look something like this. Okay, then now let's test it a few times. Okay, and it seems to be working as we got a status code 200. Now let's create a local variable. Save. And let's run the test again. And once you've added a variable, it will appear here, and you can click on it to check that the right value has been saved into the local variable token. Okay, so this step is done, and let's save it. Okay, now we need to create a new step to test the actual slow get payments endpoint. So for this step, we can head over to the payments endpoint. And then similarly, we can copy the path. So this one's a GET request. There's payload, there's only query string parameters, and the response is a list of payments. So in this case, we can put in the URL. And as for the token for authorization, you can see that it follows the following format. So what we can do is add an authorization header with the value of and now let's give it a test. Oh, and this one we can check the response time, and we want it to be, oh, we don't define that here. So for here, we can just use status code, and the successful status code is 304. Let's try that. Oh, yes, when we test the second step, we have to make sure to run the previous step. Ah, okay, so since it expects 200, let's put 200 instead. Let's try this again. Okay, and it seems to be working. Let's also change this to response time. And if this one, this is assuming our SLA value is 500 ms. Nice, okay, so this is expected that it should fail. Now let's save this step. Okay, it looks like we are done. And now we see here. So all that's left is to head over to the Explorer tab. So to see our syntactic test, we actually have to navigate over to multi-step test. And now we can see that our tests have run. So moving on, I'll show you how to create two charts on a dashboard to monitor the test performance. Let's just click into one of the tests to see what it shows us. And yes, as expected, the list payments is failing due to the condition that we set previously. Okay, so heading over to the dashboard. The first chart I'm going to add will be under the latency category. So we're going to be selecting an area chart. And then I'm going to be looking at the response time. So now it's showing us the test results of the two synthetic tests that we had in our dashboard. But in this case, I only want to look at the ones with the Idura related ones. So I'm going to add a filter. Nice. And for this chart, we're going to call it under the advanced settings. We can also add a threshold. Yep, and this is the 500 ms mark. Now we can save this. So this will help us monitor the fixed progress of this particular endpoint. And let me drag it to the latency category. So the next chart we want to add will be under traffic. So, and this chart will be a, let me check, line chart. So this one, for this chart, we'll be interested in the pass-fail rate. Yeah, as you can see, it's basically failing every time it runs, which is every minute. Then save. And finally, we drag this to the correct category. So as you can see, after we've added these two charts to our 4 golden signals dashboard that we created in the previous one of the previous videos, we have a very clear representation of like how frequent our test is failing, as well as what is the necessary threshold to bring the test value under. And if we and this will help us ensure that our SLAs are met. Okay, this concludes the session. Thank you for listening.